it is very important when you take your business to the market to price it correctly. In my opinion, one of the biggest errors that the business owners make is overpricing a business. On the surface, that may gonna sound like a good strategy. You start high, the buyer's gonna start low, and you're gonna meet at the market price. In reality, that works opposite. And if not done right, if you overprice the business, it may gonna cost you thousands of dollars when you eventually sell it. Let me show you why. To illustrate what happens when you overprice the business, I've got a little graph here that I'm going to use to explain market dynamics. First, I'm going to explain the graph. On the left-hand side, I've got the price. On the bottom, I've got the time on the market. This green line represents initial time on the market, which is somewhere between 60 to 90 days. And that's when the initial wave of buyers comes in. So what happens is, people that come and inquire your business are probably on the market already for 6, 12, 18 months. And they've been monitoring market and they inquire about the new stuff that goes on the market because they already looked at it once they're on the market. So the number of the buyers looks a bit like this. It goes up and then it drops down and it starts dropping down and then it levels up and it keeps on going lower, lower, lower. And after, say, 12 months, only the new people that come on the market look at your business. So the ones that are on the market, they already investigated your business. Now what happens is often people price business way above the market price. And let's just take for argument's sake that we're selling, as example, that we're selling a business that's worth $1 million, but we start at 1.5 million to see what's going to happen, all right, to investigate the market. Another thing that people do is say, well, you know, you got to leave some room for negotiation. You got to leave some, but, you know, 1/3 of the price is a huge room to negotiate. So what happens, you're here for 60 to 90 days on the market and a lot of buyers are going to look at your business. But the chances are, if they think that the business is $1 million, they will not offer you $1 million. And there's two reasons for it. Number one reason is, look, they offering somebody, cutting down someone's price by 1/3, it's a bit uncomfortable from buyer's point of view, and they simply don't want to offend you. The other reason is some of these buyers just won't think that you're serious about selling a business, because if you want 1.5 for something that's worth $1 million, they're just going to walk away without even making any offers. There's a few buyers that are going to indicate that they believe that the business is somewhere around $1 million. Now, what sellers normally do, they'll say, and it makes sense to say that, well, no, look, I'm really not negotiable on the price, because that's the first step of negotiation, to tell them that you're not negotiable on the price. Otherwise, what's the point in putting a higher price? And often these people walk away. So after about 90 days, you're starting to think, well, maybe I'm a little bit overpriced, and you start dropping down the price, dropping down the price, dropping down the price, dropping down the price, dropping down the price. But, you know, you get a little bit of activity, but nothing much, because the best buyers already looked at this business. And then say 12 to 18 months later, which is a year and a half later, you're on the market price. People that saw you advertising business, buyers that saw you advertising business 12 to 18 months, one thing that they think, or first thing that they think, is what's wrong with it? Why didn't it sell? Even people that were keen to actually do something with you, they're saying, wow, maybe I dodged the bullet. Like, obviously something is wrong, because nobody purchased the business yet. And the only thing that was wrong is that the business was overpriced. Now, another thing that happens is, whatever caused you to put the business on the market then, which is when you start advertising a business, it's even more pressing here. Another danger with having a business so long on the market is that you're going to take an eye off the ball and stop doing those investments that are needed to go forward. You may gonna stop making decisions. You may gonna be prudent about how you're gonna spend your money. So it could affect operation of the business. And it's not uncommon that year to year and a half later, while people selling the business performance drops. So what could happen that year to year and a half later, You got a business that's not generating same profits as it did when you took it to the market, and whatever caused you to sell a business, to put a business in the market here, it's even more pressing. You may gonna go back to some of these buyers that originally inquired in this initial wave of the buyers and say to them, look, you're right, business is actually worth $1 million. If that happens, if you do that, the buyer that you went back to, if he's still on the market 12 months later, is not going to pay $1 million because he knows that you wouldn't come back to him if you got somebody who will pay $1 million. So he'll try to offer even less, so buy it below the market value. And unfortunately, this is too common occurrence on the market, and these businesses actually sell below the market value. So it's crucial to actually price it right. Now, how do you know if the business is priced right? I know it's way out of scope of this video, and I'm gonna make some new videos to actually address that issue. At this stage, and the purpose of this video is to just make you aware that if you don't sell a business, if you don't find a buyer in that first initial way of the buyers, you're risking a possibility that the business is going to become stale, and the buyer's going to think that something is wrong with it, and because of that, you're going to actually sell it below the market value. Now, let's have a look what happens when you price your business right. Let's say, okay, again, same graph, this is the market price, and you price the business here, or maybe a little bit higher, let's say within 10% of the market, whatever we think the market price is. And in this first initial 60 to 90 days, initial wave of buyers, we're going to have more than one person looking at your business. More than one buyer is going to look at your business. One thing happens here from the buyer's point of view, and all the viewers of this video, I believe you have either bought a house or rented a house or bought a commercial property or rented a commercial property. And this is how it works. You look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you miss out on some of the good ones. But that process of looking at the property actually teaches you, and through that process you learn what the right price, because you know what you missed out on and how much they sold for. Same thing happens with the buyers of the businesses. So if you're looking at the property, and when you find a good property that you believe is priced right, you go with your best foot forward because you don't want to miss out. Same thing happens with the buyers. And that's why this golden period, this initial wave of buyers, is very important. If price is right, within 60 to 90 days you should have a buyer that you entered in negotiation or purchasing a business. Now, often people say, well, hang on a minute, I have to leave some room for negotiation. Just because I ask for $1 million doesn't mean that people are going to offer $1 million. They're going to try to offer less. Exactly, they're going to try to offer less. If you price your business accurately, the only thing you have to do is to be firm on your price. No one walks away from the good deal just because they don't get a discount. People walk away from the deal because they don't think it's a good deal. But nobody walks away from the deal because they don't get a discount. So pricing right is pricing a business right is a crucial point in selling of the business. Now, to illustrate this further, let me tell you a little story. About 2 years ago, I had a Mercedes-Benz 260 CE that I bought 2 years prior to me selling it. I took it to the market, and I bought it for $5,000, and I decided to sell it. I've done quite a bit of work on it, and I put it on the market for $7,500. Now, at that time, same model on car sales websites was advertised anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000. By the way, when I bought my car, when I bought that same car, same model was advertised between $15,000 to $20,000. In fact, I saw one of the vehicles that 2 years ago I looked at it and it was still $15,000. So nobody bought it. Now, if I didn't know better, I didn't do that investigation prior to that, I would think that's a new price and I would put it for $15,000 and would never sold it. So I put it for $7,500, and this car that I'm showing you now on the screen is the actual car that I'm talking about. And the ad, I placed the ad on Friday, which went live on Saturday, and Saturday morning the phone started ringing, And for that weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I had about 15 people call me. In fact, two gentlemen, one from Brisbane and one from Singapore, both of them offered to pay and buy the car sight unseen. I didn't want to do that, just didn't want to have any complication. I said, look, no, come have a look at the car. If you're happy with the car, I'll sell you the car. And on Sunday, person that bought the car come inspected the car, and he said, are you negotiable? I said no. He said, okay, I'll come back on Monday and I'll buy the car. He came on Monday and was true to his word, and I turned this into this by using this method. I priced my car right. Now you may gonna say, well, you underpriced your car and that's why I sold quickly. The ad didn't get pulled off the websites for next 2 weeks, and during the 2 weeks passing that initial period, which was first weekend, I only had one new phone call. I had the calls from the guys that were originally called, but only one new phone call. And that proves my theory about this initial way of buyers, and that the buyers for specific things such as high-end investments, cars and businesses do monitor market and move quickly when the new business comes on the market. Now, how do you know that the price is right? Well, this is a bit past the scope of this video, and in the future I'm going to do some videos on this. But this is what we developed, a little test that's going to help you, whichever way you decide and however way you decide to price your business. You may going to talk to your accountants, business brokers, business valuers, whatever you do. Once when you say, okay, I think this is the price, you have to test it. And this is how you do it. Imagine that you're buying this business, but not your business, your competitor's business. And that has a very similar operations to yours and very similar profits. And ask yourself, would I pay this price for that business? If the answer is yes immediately, you're underpriced. If the answer is no, or not in a million years, you're way overpriced. The answer that you're looking for is probably yes, but only after I do thorough investigation, analyze the business, and satisfy myself that the profits and operation of this business will continue after I purchase this business. If you do this right and you price your business right, you will have a successful sale in a very short period of time. I hope this helped you. Until next time.
Need help selling your business, buying a business, or a business valuation? Xclusive Business Sales award-winning team are here to help. Our experience, skills, expertise, and professionalism, backed up by our triple guarantee, is assurance for your success. A large network of buyers and our national coverage will help you throughout Australia in all state capitals and all regional areas. Xclusive Business Sales. Sell your business with certainty.